This is GoSun Flow, a solar-powered clean water and sanitation system with everything you need to pump and purify large amounts of water and then get it to where it's needed. Now you can bring cleanliness wherever you go, with full sink and shower capabilities. 𝐉𝐕 has the ability to purify 1,000 liters, and the power bank can purify 100 gallons of drinking water on a single charge. Filters are replaceable and very easy to maintain as long as they are air dried after each use. This how-to video will walk you through the usage modes, a quick start guide, a detailed how-to explanation, maintenance, and tips for getting the most from your flow. There are several bundles or accessories shown here that may not apply to every purchase. First, let's look at the parts that perform the critical function of purifying and delivering water. The flow centers around a 3-stage cartridge filter that can make fresh water from just about any source and turn it into clean drinking water. A USB-powered pump lifts water from your source and pushes it through a filter and up to your faucet head. An 18-watt power bank runs the pump and can be charged with a power adapter or from a 4-watt solar panel integrated into the flow's case. Since the flow is both a water purification and sanitation system, let's take a quick look at the different ways it can be used. First, you can always use the filter by itself. This is a bit like the popular Life straw, where you can drink through it like a straw directly out of the source. If you attach the intake hose, you don't have to lean your face down into the creek to take a sip. Next, the inlet side of the filter has the same threads as a typical plastic bottle, so it can be tightened onto a bottle or the included blue bag. Fill up the bag from the creek and then squeeze it through the filter to take a drink. To use the pump, plug it into the power bank or the solar panel to push water through the filter. Or you can bypass the filter, allowing the pump to simply move water from your source for a more accessible delivery and use it like a garden hose. Connect the faucet from the Flow Pro and plug in the switch to dispatch water with the push of a button. Finally, make hot water with either the GoSun Fusion solar oven or submersion heater, and now you can have hot water for a Navy shower or two. If you bought the Flow Ultimate with the heater, you'll want to use a well-insulated vessel like our vacuum tube ovens and heat only around a gallon at a time. Your flow ships pre-plumbed and ready to use. You need a freshwater source, so bring a bucket, jerry can, or a jug so you can fill it from the lake or creek. To get flowing quickly, plug the pump into the power bank's USB port and be sure the switch plug is locked. Open the sink or water vessel, drop the intake into the water source, clamp the faucet over the sink's edge and aim the faucet head. Push the switch and wait a few seconds while it primes, and boom, now you're making fresh drinking water. Remember to run the system dry for a few seconds and air dry your filter after each use. Alright, now it's time to get into the details for optimizing your flow setup. Like other innovative GoSun products, any initial anxiety will quickly be overcome with a little experience. Let's start with the intake, where a screen prevents junk and debris from entering your system. The intake is weighted so it remains underwater, but you'll want to adjust the float to keep the intake off the dirty lake bottom. The pump can draw water up about 8 vertical feet. The intake hose is connected to the inside of the pump. Remember, the pump is not submersible, so it does not go into the water. A short hose connects the outlet of the pump to the bottom of the filter. The top of the filter has an arrow indicating the proper direction of flow. If you're already moving a potable water source, you'll want to save filter life, so you can easily bypass the filter by plugging the pump's outlet onto the outlet hose. Be aware of hose kinks putting extra strain on your system. And notice the slots through the case to route hoses and cables once you've mastered your setup. Next, we'll plug the pump into the power bank and be sure the switch is plugged into the wire harness inside the case. Now it's time to clamp the faucet to the sink or tree branch and begin pumping with activation by pushing the switch on and off. The power bank can run the pump for hours, so you don't have to worry much over a weekend, but it will require charging from time to time. The power bank has a micro USB port for charging and a regular USB port for output. Charging can be done with any USB power adapter and the included white cable, or via the solar panel. To locate the solar charging port, follow the solar panel's junction box on the backside to a female USB port. When plugged into solar, the pump can act a little funny, so we recommend unplugging the solar panel from the power bank when you're using the flow. GoSun is always there for you in a pinch. If you find your setup without the power bank, because somebody borrowed it to charge their cell phone, you can run the pump directly off the solar panel. Here is on, and here is off. Since water is so special, you want to treat your flow with similar respect. The filter is replaceable and available at GoSun.co under the water title. Clog filters will slow the pumping speed. A good indicator of the debris you're filtering can be seen in the pre-filter disc at the bottom of the filter once opened. This can be replaced with new discs that come with every filter. When discarding used water from your sink, remove the faucet and use the handles to carry it to an appropriate dump site so you don't attract animals. After use, meaning after a day or a weekend, run the pump dry to clear the hoses and remove water from the system. Don't put things away wet. If using the filter, unplug the hoses and unscrew the filter housing. Pull the cartridge from the top and unscrew the cartridge. The nano aluminum fiber filter should be left to air dry before reassembly and storage. The pump is serviceable, but it should not be run while dry for a long period of time. It should always be used with the intake filter. Keep the inside of your case clean by opening it occasionally to let it dry out. If your faucet housing gets loose from its clamp, a 5mm Allen key will tighten it up. Well, that wraps up this How to Flow video. We hope you enjoy your new off-grid water system where you can reduce consumption without compromising your health or comfort. With the Flow, you have hydration, a kitchen sink, and a hot shower that fits in your backpack. GoSun thanks you for believing in a more resilient and healthy future.